The courage to be happy is also the courage to be disliked, because only when you're brave enough to be disliked do you become truly free. In life, every problem you face can be traced back to one simple cause. You care too much about what others think of you. Worrying about others' opinions is the root of your unhappiness. Have you ever wondered why, even when you know exactly what you want, you still feel an uncontrollable urge to act differently? Why you sabotage your own desires without even realizing it? You try to take control, but something pulls you back, an invisible force dictating your steps, rewriting your choices, a force built from the expectations of others, from your fear of rejection, from your need for approval. In this video, I'll share with you the 8 most important steps to understand this hidden dynamic. Each step is essential to uncovering why and how your internal worries are tied to the outside world. So make sure you watch till the end, because skipping any step means missing a piece of the truth you need to reclaim your life. First, we go into the social program you never agreed to. Since childhood, you were taught to obey. School trained you to show up on time every day or face punishment. At home, you were told not to bring shame to the family, to follow the rules, to never take risks because the others would judge, because failure would define you. This was not accidental. Society has nothing to gain from your awakening. They need you compliant, malleable, just aware enough to function, but never enough to question. You were prepared to serve the system, to work, to earn, to survive, but never to thrive. You were never told that we do not have to prove anything to anyone. Instead, you were raised with the illusion that your value comes from competition, at work, in relationships, even within yourself. And so boundaries, the greatest tool to protect your authenticity, were never taught. A boundary is the invisible line that defines where you end and others begin. It is the guardrail that protects your time, your energy, your values. Without boundaries, you are an open door for intrusion, for manipulation, for the erosion of your sense of self. Boundaries are not barriers to connection. They are the framework that makes authentic connection possible. They signal to others how you deserve to be treated, and more importantly, they remind you of your own worth. Every time you establish a boundary, you reinforce that your truth matters, that your needs are valid, that your life is yours to live. They protect your authenticity because they give you the space to show up as yourself without fear of being overrun by the expectations or judgments of others. They are not just a defense, they are a declaration. I exist, I matter, I choose. But the power you seek has always been within you. It is not lost, it is buried. Have you ever asked yourself, where in your life did you learn that safety was more important than truth? If you found out, drop it in the comments below. Now, let's uncover the masks you've been wearing all along. 2. Your mask has a mask. Carl Jung described the persona as the social mask we wear to meet the expectations of the world. Without it, social interaction would be almost impossible. But when you identify entirely with the persona, you become a prisoner of the roles you play. You wear a mask. But beneath it, there is another, and perhaps another still. Each one crafted not by you, but for you, by teachers, parents, friends, employers. You smile when you don't want to. You nod when you disagree. You silence yourself to keep peace. The persona is necessary to navigate society, but the danger lies in believing it is who you are. That facade, once a tool, becomes a prison, and the longer you wear it, the less you remember the face beneath. Seeking external approval is a dead end because it places your identity in the hands of others, an audience that is fickle, inconsistent, and ultimately indifferent. When your sense of self depends on being liked, you live at the mercy of the external world, and the world will never stop moving the goalposts. You adapt, you mold yourself, you perform. But each performance is a betrayal of your authentic self. You live in a theater where the applause never lasts and the emptiness returns the moment the curtain falls. This is not how humans are designed to function. We are not built to survive on borrowed validation. Our minds, emotions, and bodies seek coherence. To live in alignment, where your thoughts, feelings, and actions reflect your core, is to experience a profound internal peace. When you live authentically, your energy is no longer wasted maintaining facades. You speak with conviction, act with clarity, and connect with others in truth. The benefits are real: deeper relationships, a stronger sense of self-worth, and the resilience to face rejection without collapse. Authenticity reconnects you with your innate power. It revives your curiosity, creativity, and courage. It allows you to shape a life that feels yours, not one scripted by the demands of others. If you dared to disappoint, who would you finally allow yourself to become? Next, let's understand why you wear them in the first place. 3. What type of approval addict are you? Jung revealed that our psychological type shapes how we navigate the world. Some of us seek approval through extroverted feeling, measuring worth by the smiles of others. Others hide behind introverted thinking, withholding their truth to avoid intellectual rejection. Alfred Adler believed that the self is a unified whole: body, mind, emotions, conscious and unconscious thoughts, all working together toward a common goal. The goals we set not only influence our actions, but also shape our emotions. First, you decide what you want, then you create the emotions to help you achieve it. Imagine someone wants a job, but becomes so anxious about the interview that they can't prepare or even attend. They believe that if the anxiety disappeared, they'd have a better chance. But the truth is, the anxiety exists because the goal is not clear, not owned. When your goal isn't fully yours, when it's vague, imposed by others, or half-hearted, your emotions are confused. You feel anxiety instead of excitement, hesitation instead of clarity. A goal that is owned is one you claim as yours, deeply rooted in your values, aligned with your true desires. Once the goal is clear and personally meaningful, your mind and emotions align to support your actions. This is why defining your own path is crucial. Your goals are not just destinations, they are blueprints for your identity. They dictate the emotional energy you carry each day. A clear, owned goal empowers you to act boldly, to prepare relentlessly, to pursue without apology. Without that clarity, you live in emotional limbo, constantly second-guessing yourself and surrendering to others' expectations. Not knowing your path is not failure. It is the beginning of your becoming. It's a signal that your authentic direction is waiting to be discovered, not inherited. The beginning of your becoming is not a matter of chance. It is a decision to stop following and start creating. It is the courage to ask, what do I truly want? Not what they want for me. Not what I was told I should want, but what stirs something in my core. This is how you start finding your path. By claiming your goals, owning your desires, and aligning your emotions with your vision. Think about this. What choices have you made simply to avoid standing alone? Because now we're about to meet the part of you that you've been avoiding. 4. The shadow. Meet your unpaid intern. The shadow is everything you deny in yourself. The anger, the ambition, the desire, the parts you were told to hide. But there is no light without dark, and the shadow you avoid only grows more powerful in the dark. Integration is not indulgence, it is reclamation. It is the radical act of turning inward and saying, I see you, I acknowledge you, and I accept you. The shadow is not your enemy. It is a part of you that seeks recognition, not rejection. When you deny your shadow, it controls you from behind the scenes. But when you integrate it, you gain the power to choose rather than react. Integration means allowing your hidden parts to surface consciously, reflecting on them without judgment, and transforming them into strength and wisdom. You are not here to justify your existence. You are here to live it. To justify is to stand on trial in front of others, proving your worth day after day. But existence needs no defense. The mere fact that you are here is reason enough to claim your space, your voice, your truth. Adler taught that everyone, no matter their past, has the potential to be happy. The difference between the happy and the unhappy is not luck, but willingness. The willingness to change, to confront the shadow, to integrate it instead of denying it. The benefits of integrating your shadow are profound. You become whole. There are no more secrets to protect, no more masks to maintain. You gain inner peace, resilience, and a deep sense of self-acceptance. Criticism loses its sting because there are no hidden wounds left exposed. You become less dependent on the opinions of others because you have made peace with yourself. And now, ask yourself, what part of yourself have you exiled to make others more comfortable? If you're serious about freedom, then pay close attention to what's coming next. Since you're still here and watching, you know deep down that this is all true. So if you found this video useful, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. If not, tell us in the comments what we should improve. We want to grow with you. We want to create content that actually matters. Comment below, what was the most useful insight for you? What's the first thing you'd want to change after watching this video? And what would you like to see explored in the next one? 5. The Prison Break: How to Start Being You. Freedom begins with a boundary. Not the walls that keep others out, but the ones that keep your truth in. Start by saying no, by expressing what you believe, even when it is unwelcome. Each act of truth dismantles the prison of the persona. You are not weak, you are untrained. Think about it. If you're in your 20s, 30s, or even over 40, you've spent decades training yourself to please, to adapt, to fit in. That is not weakness, it's conditioning. You are an expert in surviving by the standards of others. But switching to a new way of being, one where you are guided by your truth, requires a different training. It takes time, discipline, and above all, a goal rooted in who you truly are, not in who you were told to be. Being disliked is not just a byproduct of authenticity. It is a filter. It separates those who cherish your truth from those who only valued your compliance. The people who walk away when you show your real face, they were never there for you. They were there for the mask. Being disliked clears the room of manipulators, of those who saw you as weak, easy to control. In their place, space is created for people who see you, who respect the courage it takes to be real. Every no you say, every boundary you set, every truth you speak, it all trains your bravery muscle. And the more you practice, the stronger it becomes. What is one truth you have not yet dared to speak? Up next, I'll show you a real-life rebellion that changed everything. 6. The Jung Rebellion, case study in not giving a damn. Carl Jung's break from Freud was not mere disagreement, it was rebellion. Freud was not just a mentor to Jung, he was the central figure of an entire intellectual movement. Walking away from Freud meant walking away from prestige, influence, and the safety of being in the inner circle. But Jung saw the danger of blind loyalty. Freud's rigid frameworks could no longer contain the truth Jung was uncovering within himself and the human psyche. Jung chose truth over approval. He risked isolation, misunderstanding, and professional exile, not because it was easy, but because integrity demanded it. Choosing truth over approval means deciding that your loyalty to yourself is greater than your loyalty to the crowd. It means facing the discomfort of rejection in exchange for the deeper comfort of living aligned with your essence. You possess this same power. It might not look like a break with a famous mentor, but it can be the decision to leave a job that suffocates you, a relationship that manipulates you, or a social circle that only values the mask you wear. Choosing is an act of creation. Choosing your truth is the first brick laid in building your authentic life. But you must choose. No one else can do it for you. What are you still clinging to that keeps you small and agreeable? Let's see what happens when you finally choose freedom over approval. But before that, here is 7. The discipline of patience. Before you can break away like Jung, there is something you must understand. Transformation takes patience. You have spent 20, 30, 40 years, maybe more, training yourself to conform. Every time you silenced your truth, avoided a boundary, or chased approval, you were practicing, repeating it, reinforcing it. So why do you expect that waking up to your authentic self should happen overnight? Why do you think that a few insights or one breakthrough is enough to dismantle decades of programming? Patience is not passive. Patience is discipline. It is the willingness to return to your truth every day, even when you stumble. It is showing up for yourself consistently, despite discomfort and setbacks. You will not build new boundaries in a day. You will not integrate your shadow in a week. You are training for freedom, and like any skill, it requires time, effort, and repetition. This is your new lifestyle, like eating clean food, going to the gym every day, waking up early, showing up for yourself, taking a shower to cleanse the body. This is about cleansing the mind and spirit day after day. It is maintenance for your soul, a discipline of becoming, not a one-time event. Patience allows you to see progress where others see failure. It teaches you that every moment you speak your truth, no matter how small, you are rewriting your narrative. With patience, your confidence grows not because life becomes easier, but because you become stronger. What would your life look like if you treated your growth like a lifelong practice instead of a quick fix? Let's see what happens when you finally choose freedom over approval. 8. The choice. Approval or freedom? There is a choice to be made. Approval or freedom? The two do not walk together. Seeking approval requires you to edit yourself, to play roles, to silence the parts of you that make others uncomfortable. Freedom, on the other hand, demands that you show up fully, unfiltered, unapologetic, whole. You have the strength, the courage, the fire. It was never gone, only buried beneath layers of expectation. Expectations from your family, your culture, your workplace, your social circles. These expectations taught you that being accepted is safer than being real. But what is safety if it costs you your soul? The courage to be happy includes the courage to be disliked. This is not a punishment, it is a liberation. Being disliked strips away the illusions. It reveals who truly values you, who resonates with your truth, and who was simply feeding on your compliance. Your life becomes clearer, cleaner, and richer. When you choose authenticity over approval, you open the door to abundance, not just material abundance, but emotional, relational, and spiritual wealth. You attract people who love you for who you are, not for the masks you wear. Your relationships deepen, your self-respect strengthens, and life begins to feel lighter, more joyful and meaningful. Are you willing to make that trade? To exchange superficial acceptance for profound connection, shallow applause for real belonging, fleeting approval for enduring peace? So, tell me, what is worth more to you, their comfort or your truth? Let me know in the comments below.